Welcome, everyone. It is 30 years of the PlayStation, consoles, handhelds, games, and franchises, and we're here to celebrate by doing a list, a tier list. We are ranking the biggest franchises of PlayStation 1 through PlayStation 5, and we want your input. So make sure, if you're not watching live, leave comments and let us know how right we are about our presentation here. And if you're watching live, give us your feedback. We want your input. I'm Zach from West Coast Pop, and this right here is Knock the Final Boss. How you doing, buddy?
Final Boss is here with my main man, Zach. Of course, 30 years of PlayStation. It's been an incredible PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, now the PS5. We got some pros in there. There's a ton of games. I think let's go over the rules real quick before we jump in. So on this list, I put 30 of the biggest or, controversial franchises that we've had over these years on PlayStation. It will be games that are still exclusive to the brand, or when they started out, they were exclusive. So you're not going to see any third-party games like GTA or like, the big ones, Call of Duty, stuff like that. You're going to see, I love Batman, but I can't put Batman on there either. These are strictly exclusive games that are still exclusive, or when they started out, they were exclusive to the brand. So
that's right.
And the other thing, too, I might want to point out, so I put these games on here, but these games will be representing their entire franchises. So we got Spider-Man and a few others that will be representing the entire franchise when we do the ranking. So let us know your opinions, man.
Please do. And if you need a refresher, Knock, I remember when I had a friend who got the PlayStation, I was like, what is this magical thing that has a compact disc instead of a cartridge? All the way up to right now, both of us have a PlayStation 5 and we're playing it. And we're digging it. We're digging it to see some more games. Sir. But Knock, if you would like to just take a quick minute here to take a stroll down memory lane, 30 years of PlayStation.
PlayStation.
That's a way to kick it off, man. That got me hyped. And I can't wait for you guys to tune in with us, debate. There's so many games these 30 years, Zach. That was a good intro.
Thanks. Glad you liked it. And, if we left some out on this list or in that intro, let us know. And I'll just kick off one that we left out right now because it is part of a franchise and everything else. But when WWF started bringing SmackDown games to the PlayStation 1 all the way to Know Your Role and Shut Your Mouth and everything else, Bring the Pain all the way out to the 2K that it is, man. That's what really hooked me on buying a PlayStation.
Yeah. For me, man, my brother used to play the Tomb Raiders back in the day. So that got me with the PlayStation. I actually got PlayStation by accident. And when I got into it, I got hooked. And when we get to these games, you're going to see one more note for you guys. This is all opinion based. Let us know if there's some games you don't see. Let us know what you might would want in the S class as well. When we get to the end of the list, there's only one game that can remain in S class. We'll narrow it down to one and have everyone else fill in below. And lastly, you're going to see a lot of bias come out because I have a few games on here that I love. They're the greatest of all time. So I would tell you what they are.
All right. And I'm going to tell you one that is a PlayStation favorite and franchise Kickstarter for a couple of these systems that I can't effing stand.
Oh
Knock.
man, so we're gonna get into it. We
Let's,
got a whole lot of gaming going on, thousands of hours between me and Zach, especially on PlayStation. This is my system of choice. Okay,
same.
So we don't got Eric here tonight, the Xbox guy. It's all blue red PlayStation.
This is the next box. This is the next box. You know what else is the next box? This right here. F your Xbox. We're talking PlayStation 1 through 5, the Vita, the PS, everything. So get your comments in. Knock. What franchise of this glorious entertainment system celebrating 30 years do you want to kick it off with?
Let's throw it to Infamous. I know a little out of order. Let's throw it to Infamous because I think this one has gotten really overlooked, really underappreciated. When it first started, we had Infamous, I think, 2009. Just an open world game. You get to either pick to be good or bad, and you play the game throughout with your choices mattering. Maybe like a B level game when it first came out. Then you got Infamous 2, upgraded the graphics, upgraded the physics, and they were on fire. Infamous 2 is my favorite out of the series. Infamous Second Son is the more polished one, obviously coming out on the PS4 a few years later. Delson Rowe. My boy, that's when one boy Troy Baker started taking over. He voices everybody, but he voiced Delson Rowe in this game as well. The Infamous series, I feel like I would love a reboot. I feel like it needs more appreciation, some more love. So, Zach, did you get a chance to play this series?
I played 1 and 2, and I did play a little bit of Second Son, and this series reminds me of Devil May Cry. So I'm going to have the same input on this. Devil May Cry is not on here, but this is my exact same sentiments on that. Love the first game. I know people liked it a little bit more as they went on, but it's just too much. It lost what the first game had, in my opinion. I did love the first game, but it lost me at that.
I thought the first game was good storyline-wise. You know, it was, again, the mechanics weren't the best, but like you can still work through it. I thought the twist at the end was really good. And just so you guys know, you're talking to someone I've platinumed every single Infamous game. I even played First Light. I even played the Blood one, the Vampire one, the little spin-off DLC. I played them all. 2 is going to be my favorite. Just kind of like the story, like how they expanded on the world. And Second Son, they went a completely different route. But where would you have this game? Because, again, it's one of my favorites, but I know it's not really loved like it should be.
I honestly want to say C, greatness still awaits, because I think there's missed opportunities for a franchise here. Just like Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry, awesome first game. I really loved what it was. And then you're going to go big balls and give us 2 discs on the second one. I think the good intentions are there, but missed opportunity. So I'd say C.
All right, he's going C. For me, I think that's a strong B game. And we don't get a lot of B games right now, like that are like, you know, decent, really good to carry us over to AAA games. I thought this is from Sucker Punch, you're going to see some other games on this list that came from them. I think it showed their talent. It was a superhero game that's not a licensed superhero, and I thought it really delivered. But yeah, I think between B and C, if anyone wants to let us know, where you can, tie break, let us know.
I think your vote qualifies a little bit more than mine because you played a lot more. But yeah, we'll get some comments in there. Maybe we can move it around.
All right, what you got next, Zach?
Let's go with one that kicked off the PlayStation 3, Resistance.
Ooh, we're doing the whole franchise when we do these games. Zach, did you play the Resistance? I only played 3. That's the only one I know.
Okay. I bought this with the PlayStation 3. I really liked part 1. A couple of gun things are a little wonky with the mechanics. I thought 2 was okay, and I didn't get to 3 because I didn't think 2 was all that.
Okay. I played 3, and I actually really enjoyed the multiplayer of this game. I think it's another underrated multiplayer. It's a traditional one. It's really good. And I always wanted to go back and play the first 2. Never got a chance to get to them. Maybe you could remaster the series. But
yes, Zach,
I mean, did you ever think the company that made this game would go on to make Spider-Man? Like, it's a super talented developer, man. So I think they put some more shine on Resistance, I think. Remaster it. I love to replay the games. 3 is the one I played. I think for me, this is where I would put in the C category.
I'll agree with you right there. I did not get to 3 with the multiplayer, so I was just playing it on my own here. It was great. It was a nice kickoff title. It just felt like there should have been like this great bigger trilogy, and I think 2 kind of soured me on that. But that's good. Greatness does
Yeah.
still await. Remaster, like Knox said, or give us something a little bit more to chew on.
You know, I don't want to keep saying break the remasters. It's the era of the remasters, but I wouldn't mind this one because I feel like a lot of those games that came out in that era for the PS3 early on, they didn't get the shine that the PS5 is, the biggest thing ever right now. So it's getting all the shine with their games. So some of these older games, I feel like that shine, it could blow up again for them, and they need some more games.
100%. All right, what's the next game we got here?
Since we're going at it with some of those shooters that came out in that era, let's go to Killzone. This is the one I played. This is the one I truly loved. People called it the Halo killer. I'm not going to go that far. I ain't go that far. But I thought it was a really good story. I thought, the struggle with the hell gas, the war, and all that type of stuff was really good. And I enjoyed the multiplayer. Some of the most satisfying sound effects when you kill somebody, Killzone was on fire. You had the first 3, the trilogy. 2, I think, is the one that gets the most praise. 3 is the one I think I played the most. Shadowfall was cool. I don't remember too much of the story, but I know the multiplayer I really got to enjoy. And that was like a launch title for the PS4. Again, though, I think greatness still awaits because this is not, again, one of those exclusive properties that they had with a very talented developer in Guerrilla who's went on to make Horizon. And I feel like they led the charge in graphics. The graphical fidelity was incredible with Guerrilla. They've always been good at that. But I want to see more from this franchise. I think we got to bring some more shooters and more exclusive for Sony. So I'd love to see this get brought back.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you right here. I played 1 and 2. I really liked it. And it was very hyped up as the Halo killer, like you said. And I think part of that was a lot of us did have Xboxes and PlayStations of 50-50 where I was living at the time.
Yeah.
I'm not a Halo guy, but it wasn't the Halo killer. So you had all this hype, and it wasn't that. It was fun, but like you said, man, greatness awaits. And the sequels afterwards were just made for other fans or already fans of Killzone, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's go with a personal favorite of mine, if that's okay, Knock.
We're going to swing
personal favorite. I love the remaster of this one. Yes, remasters. Ooh. But 1, 2, and 3 of this series alone kept me out of college classes for almost like hours upon hours every semester as these games kept piling up and coming out. It is the Tony Hawk franchise. Ooh. I especially love 1 and 2. There we go, fat fingers, Zach. There we are. The Tony Hawk franchise. So good, and every game seemed to innovate but not lose what the original was about. I love this series. Again, the remasters of 1 and 2 are really well done, and the soundtracks are so cool. It's just good songs that are made to the disc here by fans of the artists who are skateboarders and everything else. I love it. I even love Tony Hawk Underground. When you got in later on the PS3, when it was trying to compete with Skate and everything else, it kind of fell off the wheels a little bit. It kind of biffed it. But man, up to like Underground, and I'll even give it Underground 2, not the Bam Margera one, but this was it. This was a great series, and I knew what it was doing. So I'm going to say this is gold, in my opinion. This is gold. Knock, have you played these?
Of course, man. I want to say this. I know people are going to say, this is not exclusive. When it started out, I did the research. This was exclusive to the PlayStation brand when it first came out. This is like, it brings me back really to the 90s. Like I get a special feeling this type of game. And you really built around like Tony Hawk was the biggest thing in the 90s. He was up there. So to have this game around him and then branded around him and then have it actually deliver, like I didn't skateboard, but this made me want to skateboard. This was it. I don't know if it'll stay at S-Class for me, but Zach, wherever you place it, I think I'm good with because this is a classic.
All right, I'm going to put it as gold. I'm going to say gold. This is a great trilogy. And yes, of course, it went into like the N64, I think with part 2 or part 3 afterwards, like you said, but it started off as a PlayStation exclusive. This is such a great PlayStation exclusive. I could gush about it. Let us know your comments if you played this, but those are my thoughts on Tony Hawk.
Yeah, it's really up there, man. It really set the tone. Again, like skateboarding in the 90s with Tony Hawk was everything. The other thing I do want to say, and you see a lot of these games that come out now, like, they branded around the person, like Tiger Woods for golf or like a certain person. Yes. This was it. This showed the blueprint.
Yep. All right. What do we got next, Knock?
Let's keep it on here for a newer game. Let's go to Rocket League. Now, again, Rocket League is now available everywhere. But if you were there, I think it's been almost 10 years, if not longer, of Rocket League since it came out. This is when PlayStation Plus was getting games, people would try to get on PS Plus to be put out for free. So if you were lucky enough to play freaking Rocket League, imagine what it is now. PS Plus for free. I've been playing this. I probably have 1,000 hours in this game. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not as good as my brother, but I got 1,000 hours in this game, and it's been incredible. Still can go back to it whenever I want. This is the game that keeps on giving. They got so many different modes. Yeah. I mean, from the original, like the Chaos 4v4, 3v3, 2v2. You get the Rumble mode, where you get the superpowers, which hey, do what you want. Then they have the football mode sometimes, which is kind of cool. They have the survival mode where you have to be on a platform that can get knocked off. Like, they kept this game going, and who would have thought cars and soccer balls would work?
I was doing stand-up in Denver, and one of the monthly stand-up gigs turned into a Rocket League stand-up gig.
Wow.
So in like the waiting room, they had a PS4 with Rocket League, and that was my introduction to it. And everyone there was so damn good at it. It was like jumping into Mario Kart, like 5 games in, and people were so good. But it was such a good group game. It was so like lively. We're playing people all across the world at the same time. I had a really good experience with this game. I kind of stopped after a year playing this, but yeah, like you said, it's got longevity to it.
You got so much longevity to it, man, and it doesn't really need a sequel because they keep updating it and they keep doing such a great job with it. But for people that might not know, because it's everywhere now, this was exclusive to PS for a long time, and this is where it blew up. It blew up on PS Plus. So I know PS Plus gets shitted on now, and rightfully so for the price. But a game like this came from PS Plus.
All right, where are you going to rank Rocket League?
I'm going A, man. Go straight to the A class because, again, the longevity. And even if you do buy some of the microtransactions, some of the DLC, like, you can get your money's worth because like this game has such long legs.
Yeah, I agree. Let us know your thoughts on Rocket League and if you're still playing it. All right, want to go old school now?
Let's do it, man. Let's go back.
Let's go Sly Cooper.
Woo. I want to say I got the platinum in Rocket League also, and Sly Cooper, all 3 Sly Cooper games. I'm a flex out here.
You do it. Man, Sly Cooper, this is one of the fun ones, but this falls into a category of a lot of the PlayStation games for me, where they tried to get franchise Marios, and I don't know if it fully worked, but this one was its own game as opposed to a couple of the other ones we'll talk about here. One of them really worked. This one kind of worked, and we'll get to another one that, in my opinion, didn't work at all. 2 that didn't work at all. But this one I thought was a good 2 games. And I think that was it. I think it's a fun throwback, especially for someone like me who grew up with Super Nintendo and stuff like that. I really dug what this game was.
Yeah, first time playing, I love these games. I will admit, I don't think it holds up gameplay-wise. I think even then, some of the gameplay mechanics are a little dated. I remember like one of these levels, I think in Sly Cooper 2, you were trying to like shoot something down, and it was just so like buggy and glitchy, and it didn't really work the best. That, like, this is one of those games where like the difficulty wasn't necessarily the difficulty of the game, just because the mechanics were the best. Besides that, Sly Cooper's the man, bro. I like his group. He got the girl, he got everything. He out here just robbing places and doing it for the name of the people. Like, Sly Cooper's that guy. He didn't get as big as Mario, but in my opinion, he's better than Mario.
Okay.
Again, it was a really fun game playing. I think my first playthroughs, maybe 2 playthroughs. I don't know how much times you can keep replaying them. The original trilogy, gold. Definitely would recommend it, especially if they were to update some of the mechanics. The new, I think they came out one more game, maybe 2 more new games. I didn't get a chance to get to those. But as a franchise as a whole, I'm putting the greatness await still, man, because I think we can revisit this. Sucker Punch is the people that make they made the infamous games. They made this, and they make Ghost of Tsushima now. So maybe not Sucker Punch to make these. But you had somebody who made the remakes. I think it was Sony. Was it Sony Bend or somebody else? They did a really good job with some of these remastered games. I'd love to see them. I forget the name. Don't quote me on that. But whoever did those remakes did a few of those, and they were really good at it.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you. This still greatness awaits. It just doesn't seem like it reaches full potential, but it's fun games.
Yeah, really, really fun games. And this was my favorite. Well, it was my second favorite mascot for Sony for a long time until I started playing other games that we're going to get to.
All right. What do you want to get to now?
Let's stay on the mascot trend. Let's go to
All right.
who took the crowd as my favorite mascot. That's Jack and Daxter.
Jack and Daxter did, huh?
Jack and Daxter. Sanzaru Games is the ones who remade Sly Cooper. But yeah, Jack and Daxter, growing up, they were my favorite mascot character on Sony.
Right.
It was cool, man. It was cool,
right,
man.
I'm getting my imaginary raps on because I'm gonna spar.
Oh, you're not taking out Jack. Another game I got the platinum in. But Jack and Daxter 1, 2, 3, incredible. Yeah, the racing games weren't my favorites, but I mean, come on, bro. Jack and Daxter was Sony. That's Naughty Dog. Before Uncharted was, Naughty Dog was, forget Crash Bandicoot. They were known for Jack and Daxter.
Forget Crash Bandicoot.
I said it. Forget about them. That drugged up booger sugar waterby freaking. I can't stand Crash Bandicoot.
Drugged up. What the hell's that on the shoulder there? Come on. Okay, first of all, this game was fine. Yes, you have to crawl before you can walk. This Jack and Daxter is just. It was okay. This was like the trying to get a new Mario. And
this one, Crash Bandicoot is the wannabe Mario, not Jack and Daxter.
No, Crash Bandicoot was the Mario. Oh my god, Crash Bandicoot's in the commercial. The guy in the suit, like
yeah, you know
Crash
how
Bandicoot was the guy.
What are we promoting here? What type of commercial is that? Come on.
It was the commercials for like 2.5 years until that pedophile came along and like. Sorry.
Let's see what happened there.
Their other guy who was promoting stuff with the blonde hair. He had to get the boot from the commercial, but before that, it was Crash Bandicoot.
Oh man. Let us know. But I really Jack and Daxter has a special place in my heart. Like when I thought about video gaming back in the day, growing up, this was my character. He's not my favorite mascot character anymore, but at that time, it was untouchable.
Untouchable?
Untouchable. He didn't even have to talk. That's how untouchable he was. The aura was all there.
Okay, where would you put Whack and Dexter?
No, man. We got to put respect to my boy. This was Naughty Dog's crowning achievement before, Uncharted and Last of Us. But if I'm being honest, I think I'll put it in B class, bro. Put it in B class. This is for sure a silver medal.
All right, we'll bargain bin that down here into D class.
Wow. Chris, man, let us know what you think.
All right, we'll do B. We'll give it to you. I want to put it in D. I'll put it in C, actually, for me personally. But I'll put it into you. You got a fond place in your heart for Jack.
It's still for debate. If someone wants to convince me otherwise, let me know.
Okay. All right. Let's just get into the true PS, the archetype for PlayStation Mario's Crash Bandicoot. This is the one. It was different. You're running forward. There's so many different things to it. You're grabbing apples. You're living the life. You're making adventures happen. This is Lara Croft before Lara Croft. But that's what I'm saying, man. I'm whacking Dexter. It's Crash Bandicoot right here, and I'm going gold, not platinum, because we have some damn good platinums on here. But I'm saying gold for Crash Bandicoot, the mascot, the man in the commercials, the man on the advertisements, the man on the flyers for PlayStation Magazine. Knock.
They gave him everything. They gave him the spotlight. They gave him the promotion, and he still didn't live up to the hype. He didn't live up to being Mario. He fell off the cliff, and he got sold out, bought out, and brought around town with Xbox and Activision. If I'm being honest, though, I do like the model. I think worked. It doesn't work anymore, but it did work. Crash Team Racing was dope. I'll give Crash Team Racing some hype because we're talking about the franchises here.
Right. I remember Jack Team Racing.
No, that was terrible. I'll admit that. The Jack one was terrible. That was for free a few months ago, and I couldn't get through it. Crash Bandicoot, though, however, that Team Racing was fun. But the model doesn't work for me anymore. I can't get behind it anymore. The funnest I had playing Crash Bandicoot was Uncharted 4. So, I mean, what are we talking about here?
It's funny. They put Crash in their game, but they didn't put Jack and Dexter in there.
I mean, Crash, because Crash is, the unga bunga mind. You can play it. It takes a little more time to get to Jack and Dexter. It's a little more complex, it's sophisticated, if you will. Anybody can pick up and play Jack and Dexter. Come on. That's why they put it in there.
Man of fine wines and cheeses. Where would you put Unga Bunga Crash Bandicoot?
Nah, but I do got love for Crash. I do. Not as much as everybody, but I do. I'll let you rank them.
To be honest, I would say gold or silver. So you tell me where you want to put them right there.
Drop them in silver.
Drop silver. Okay, I do agree. Some of the games got a little.
Yeah,
I think I know what it is. Hey, we got 2 comments in here, 2 different games. Which one of these 2 games do you want to touch on first? Chris Kane and Mr. All Power got some comments. So thank you both for joining.
We can get to a heavy hitter. I was saving the heavy. We can get to the heavy hitter real quick. Let's talk about the Spider-Man series, the newer series. Again, another game I got a platinum in, but that's beside the point. Let's put them in the S class straight up because, I mean, where do you want to touch on, Zach? This is incredible. Sony's flexing, they got the rights to the movies. You can't tell me nothing. This is the only reason they got the exclusivity. I think you can't tell me otherwise. But they've been killing it. So Insomniac, who we talked about earlier, who developed Resistance, they left Sony for a little bit, and they did what's it called? I think it was Sunset Overdrive with Xbox. It's an Xbox exclusive. I think at the beginning of Xbox One. Then they came back into the fold. Everyone thought, oh, Sony's getting a Spider-Man game. Let's have Sucker Punch do it because they did Infamous. Then everyone said it was Insomniac. Like, I don't know about that. They made Resistance. I don't know. Let me tell you, bro. Sony bought Insomniac, and they've been killing it ever since. They've been literally carrying Sony on their back with their exclusives, with their work rate, with Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Wolverine coming out very soon. Listen, they've been incredible. This was the best purchase Sony's had in a long, long time. This is S-Class. These games are incredible.
It's so funny that these games are so incredible. And yes, this weekend has been, when this is recording right here, 30 years of PlayStation. Kraven the Hunter is coming out this weekend, looking to drop below Madam Web's opening numbers. Movie-wise, they're the worst. They're the worst. Video game-wise, holy crap. 3 home runs in a row. How can you top that?
I don't. I think Wolverine will be the grand slam, but they've been on fire, man. I'm a little disappointed when you get the DLC for Spider-Man 2, like we got for Spider-Man 1. The Miles Morales was a bigger game than I thought it'd be because I thought it'd just be like a little DLC, but it actually got like kind of if you played Uncharted Lost Legacy type of level of game. So this is a franchise. This is incredible. I have nothing. This is the best Spider-Man game of all time. Best superhero game is up there. My favorite superhero games of all time are the Arkham series. This is neck and neck with that one.
100%. I love those Arkham series. But this one just seems a little bit more. This trilogy here just seems a little bit more like a trilogy, not cut and paste or make the worlds bigger. Because after you got to Arkham City, it just seemed like they were searching for. It almost got like sequelitis after that. But these are they're solid all the way through.
Yeah, I'm hoping they can stick the landing with a potential Spider-Man 3, but this will go down as one of the best. Maybe the only thing I would say is like the difficulty, maybe up the difficulty a little bit. But besides that, I mean, your Spider-Man swinging around is only going to be so difficult. The game is really fluid and it's so good.
I'm almost positive they're going to come out with another one. I think that's why there's no downloadable content. This is one of the top 5 franchises of all time selling wise for PlayStation. You can't just dump this off if you're not going to make any more Uncharted's. And we'll see about Last of Us. So
Last of Us, another one, man. We're gonna get to that, but shout out Chris and Mr. All Powered. Spider-Man is for sure up there.
Let's get into the other one right here from Chris Kane.
All right, Ghost of Tsushima. Again, we just talked about Sucker Punch with Infamous, the Sly Cooper games, and then they throw a curveball at you and hit up Ghost of Tsushima. For when I started getting into gaming, for years, for decades, people have been asking Ubisoft to make an Assassin's Creed in Japan. When's it coming out? Come on. And they're like, no, we're not going to do it. The market's not there. Finally, decades later, after all that, Sucker Punch is like, we got you. This game is visually stunning. It is incredible. The moment you boot it up, it feels like it. Again, I don't. This is not even a knock. It feels like you're playing a movie. Like, and I know people use it as a negative nowadays, but I really mean it in the most positive of ways. It feels like I'm like really playing as Jin Sakai. I'm really locked in. The samurai battles are incredible. Riding around on your horse with the wind and all those mechanics, like this game is really, really good. They put a lot of effort into it. I can't wait for the sequel. I forget the name right now. I'm blanking out on it. But if you haven't played this game, it's really must play. When I first played it, though, I will say one of the knocks. I will say, I try to play in Japanese with the English subtitles, and sometimes the words didn't line up, so it really took me off. It was that bad. I'm hoping with the updates, it might be a little better, but that's how I wanted to play, and it kind of took me out of it. Besides that, the game is so good. You guys got to play it.
I got to play too, so I don't have an official rank on here, but I did watch most of the game being played online, and everything you said about it is great. It's so beautiful. It really is. So wherever you want to put Ghost of Tsushima, that's where it goes.
Yeah, I'm going an A. This is gold. This is a gold trophy for Sony and Sucker Punch.
It looks like the franchise is just kind of getting started. This was reviewed very well. This was sold very well. Yep. And I don't think 2 is where they're going to stop.
And it can't be. I mean, we're getting a new protagonist for the second one, so you'd imagine a third one for the third one. And, I think it's a TV or movie. Something's coming out.
Especially with Shogun being so big and winning awards.
Yep.
Yes.
So this is perfect timing for Sucker Punch and Sony, honestly.
Yeah. All right. Let's go with one that I kind of like. This was kind of like a very relaxing franchise to me because I grew up on King Griffey Jr. Baseball. It was one of my favorite games growing up because you could play home run derby, and it was just more relaxed than playing like bases loaded. The Show, their own type of Madden game for PlayStation, MLB The Show. I bought in about 3 different years of this. I've never bought a non-like franchise. I never bought a sports franchise this many times. Not Madden, not NCAA. The Show I did. I just think it's so good. It's so well done. The graphics kept getting better. The gameplay was smooth, and it was just the way that they kept upping it with just like Madden. Everything kept getting better graphics, better, smoother gameplay, better with the stats. I absolutely love this series. So have you played this?
Of course, man.
Hell yeah.
Back in the day, like there was MLB The Show, then there was, I think it was MLB 2K. They were both going out for years. Eventually, 2K stopped making baseball games, or they lost the license. Then it was literally only Sony with their baseball game, complete exclusivity on the entire sport. So I feel like, it kind of went the Madden way, which is, yearly drops, but not too much updates. But the game has been incredible. I love MLB The Show. I haven't played it in a few iterations, but from what I played when I was growing up, like it was really good. And I have a bunch of friends that really, really go to town with this game. So it's up there. Definitely sells a lot. It's not exclusive anymore. They have it on Xbox nowadays. It's still owned by Sony, but they lean it out to Xbox. So I want to say the one I probably played the most is about probably MLB The Show 14 or 15. Really good stuff. So great game.
I would put it in. I know I'd still put it in silver, just because unless you're really into baseball, and at the time I was like really into like Prince Fielder and stuff like that. That's when I was buying these games. This was before the 17, but I don't think it's. I don't think it's one of these series that's going to be like Spider-Man or Uncharted, where it's just going to bring new people in and wow them. I think you have to kind of be into baseball and understand the gameplay and all that to really, really love it. But let us know what you think of the show and where you would rank it. I don't think it has like the big power that Madden has, but it is such a solid series.
Yeah, especially when you're the only one, going out. So,
right.
What we got next?
All right, I'm just going to say right here. You want to talk about crappy Mario wannabe franchise kicker offers, console starters.
You got me nervous there. Now I know where you're going. Okay.
Yeah. Nutstack boy here in Little Big Planet. What a wonky ass gameplay this was. I got the first one hoping, man, I got a great game. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be just a nice calm game. It's not gonna be Killzone or Resistance or anything like that. It's gonna be a nice, fun, calm game. I don't think the controls were right. Every time you jumped or you tried to do something, because it's basically a side scroller, like a 3D side scroller. It felt like you were Luigi in Spider-Man 2. It just felt like you weren't in full control during the whole game. So especially when there were some buggy parts in there, I just felt it was very frustrating. It wasn't a calm, fun game. It was a very frustrating game. I thought 2 got even worse. And then was it the PSP or the PS Vita one that it kicked off with? Man, I couldn't get behind this at all. I'm not a fan of the series.
All right, so this was by Media Molecule, another game. I think Sony owns them or not, I forget. But they made like Dreams. I think Tearaway they made as well. But their prized possession was the Little Big Planet series. I didn't play Little Big Planet 1 like that, but it got pretty popular for a little bit. Then Little Big Planet 2 came out, and I feel like that got super popular with when it first came out, and all the
Yeah.
customization. You had people making all these different levels and all these different stuff.
Yep.
So that was really cool stuff. I got to play it a little bit. I did enjoy Little Big Planet 2 a little bit. Wasn't the biggest fan, but like siblings or cousins want to play, to give it a shot. What can I say? This it's a ball of yarn, man. It's something. He was the PS3's, mascot, if you will, character. I'm gonna say greatness still awaits, because I mean, after that, they did a Little Big Planet karting. No one knows that one. Little Big Planet 3 came out, but it was a different studio. It kind of fell off a cliff, and now we don't see these games anymore. So I'm gonna go greatness still awaits. But if you want to go lower, I'm not mad at it. I don't hate the game.
Right.
I don't love it.
We'll go in between then, because for me it's a never play again. But we'll go bargain bin. We'll go in between. That's how much I really don't like this, and I think that people who do like this could play a better version of this on any platform, on any system. So it's a very beautiful game. Don't get me wrong. But that's it.
Yeah. Well, let's even this out with who became my. I told you Jack and Daxter was my favorite, and Sly Cooper was number 2 growing up. But now my favorite Sony mascot character is Ratchet and Clank, bro. You can't compete with these games. I know they try to make the movie and it didn't really do so well, but if you guys want to start with the Ratchet and Clank remake, heat. Then they followed up with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which debuted on the PS5 with some crazy graphics. Again, Zach, this is Insomniac. We had Spider-Man and Ratchet and Clank coming out, months apart or a year apart. The work rate has been incredible for the studio. Obviously played originals. It kind of, lost its way a bit, with all the sequels after that. There's a ton of sequels. But if you want to start somewhere, I say Ratchet and Clank, the remake that came out in 2016. Very, very good.
All right. I didn't mind this, and I honestly liked A Rift Apart. I thought that was a very good introduction to playing your PlayStation 5, because, like I said, those graphics were fucking great, especially in a 4K TV. Oh, man. I do think this is in the middle of Crash and Whack and Dexter. I think it's fun, though, and I don't know, kind of disappointed that the movie didn't work, but I feel like greatness still awaits for this series. It's just familiar if you're a PlayStation fan. I don't know if they really tapped in to what can be sold about this character.
Ooh, that's tough, man. If it's the highest mark on that B class, I think I'm cool with that. But it's really, really up there, man. It's good.
All right, we'll take it.
It's borderline.
All right, good stuff there. And that work rate that you're talking about. Hey, take note, Rockstar. Holy crap, are they coasting? We got 3. Yeah, we got 3 on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. We got 3 Grand Theft Autos on the PlayStation 2. Yeah. We got 2 on the PlayStation 3, and that one, number 5, is still coasting right now because they introduced more online stuff and so many random things. They don't got to do shit. They got to do shit.
Nope. Like I said, they got work rate too, bro. They've been milking for years, a whole decade. I'll say the same. GTA back in the day, the PS2 had 3 GTAs. Yeah. GTA 5 had 3 PlayStations. That's how you know things have changed. That's how you know.
That's how you know. Holy crap. Let's get into this one. This one was very cool. I love the game and I love the evolution of the game. Gran Turismo. This is very cool. I wasn't even a car guy, but man, did I love these cars. I got to learn about cars. Well, racing, very cool. I thought this was I don't say so much better, but I thought this was a better racing game. The other one at the time that was out was Need for Speed. Need for Speed was fine. It was fun. I played that mainly on PC, but this one, Gran Turismo, was just its own beast. It just became this Sony franchise thing that you look forward to every time they release something.
Yeah, Gran Turismo is the ultimate racing game. I don't play too many racing games nowadays, like simulation racing games. Like I'll play the Mario Kart here and there. But Gran Turismo back in the day, man, you couldn't tell me nothing. I'm playing all these different cars that are licensed out there. I'm driving around and it feels great. I can't wait. I never got to use like the steering wheel and do all that type of stuff. People really go out for this game. But I will get to try this in VR very soon, and I'm very excited.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, this is like a staple right now for the VR experience on the PSVR 2. So I'm very excited for that. And Gran Turismo's up there. Again, I think for me, it'll be like B, but maybe even A, honestly. I just haven't played too much of it, like all the iterations. 3 and 4 were like the ones I played the most. I loved. I can't wait to try this 7, though.
Well, let's balance this out then, because I kind of feel the same way, and I don't think Gran Turismo brings anything that grabs someone who hasn't played these games before. But they're great if you
No.
are into the games.
So
So you want to say A
B.
or B?
I think
B,
B, because
okay,
I think it's the same boat as like MLB The Show, where like it's a huge property for Sony to be exclusive, but it's not gonna. I don't think it brings too many new people in.
right. Yeah, I agree. It's a beautiful game, and every time they update it, you're just amazed that this is what is
Yeah, and
racing
of
on the
course
screen. Is a
direct
beautiful game.
competition with Forza, but they go head and head each year. I think Forza with the Forza Horizon's really taken like some of that shine from it, but GT has been the staple, I think.
Yeah. All right, where are we going next?
Let's go down to the gutters, man. Let's go to the gutters for a little bit. You see that one on the end
All right.
there? Let's take that one out there.
Hey, I remember you.
So when you said the Mario, wannabes and Mario,
Oh,
Super Smash Bros. PS All Stars. What this should have been, what this could have been, with all these, you had a lot of great properties here. You had Sly, you had Uncharted there, my boy Nathan Drake. You had some people, but you have to really flesh out the mascot characters, I think, for this to work. You have to really put the time and effort into it. I don't remember this game getting much post-release like attention at all. So, and they changed it where I think it was like I think it was like a meter system or something for you to get knocked out or something like that. They changed it they wanted to be a little different from Super Smash Bros. I forget what exactly it was, but this game came and went. I don't think people even know this game exists.
No, it is one of those games that until you hear about it, it didn't exist. It was so hyped up, and it just died.
Yeah. They make a small reference to this game in God of War Ragnarok, which we will be getting to very soon, my boy. But besides that, this was a forgotten about game. So you put at the bottom. Sadly, it goes there. It will not be
later,
alone.
All-Stars.
It will not be alone. Nope.
Let's leave it alone for a little bit. Let's leave it alone. Let's let it fester in its own its shame. Yes. Let's go with one that just there is really. I don't know if you want to get to a really big one right now.
Let's do it. I think we got time for it.
Let's get to Uncharted.
Oh, you said a really big one. You say we're going for the Grand Slam. The staple, the franchise.
The franchise. Let's put it right here in the middle of our stream, because Uncharted. It's going to take up some time, and some of these we can just shorten up our talking on because they don't match up to Uncharted.
No.
Uncharted. This kicked off PlayStation 3. Yeah. When I saw the commercial for it, I think I was watching like an NFL game, and it showed the build up to the PlayStation 3, and I'm like, okay, they're doing a different kind of Lara Croft and Indiana Jones. Yep. Not sold on it. Man, got it. Loved it. Then Uncharted 2 comes out. Yeah. Bigger, huge, a lot bigger. So fucking good. Great storytelling. Awesome multiplayer. Hours upon hours of replayability. And you have the more of the personalities fleshed out and characters and storylines driven. Going into part 3, which was even huger. This game was so damn huge. You talk about games like Devil May Cry, or we'll talk about another one that came out on 2 discs. This game felt like it could have been on 4 discs. And then you get to part 4. You're just going to give us a thieves end when you hit PlayStation 4? You're going to end your biggest franchise without like any side characters? But when they do have side characters, they had a great game with Chloe, one of the side characters. Yep. That was super fun. That game alone was worth the money buying it new. That's how good the side game was on the PlayStation 4. I could gush about this so much. I know people that like the Uncharted movie. They said, no, it's fine. If you're a fan of these games, that movie was not fine. There were flaws up the ass with it because these games were so special to PlayStation fans. The character of Nathan Drake and everyone else around, from Sully to Chloe, even introducing brothers, which sometimes when they introduce siblings, it's not good. This worked. I loved it. I still play Uncharted 4 online to this day. Until they shut it down, I will be playing it. I love this franchise so much. Knock.
All right. So you finished up. You're good. Ready for my take. I'm gonna say real quick. You should mention Uncharted movie. Yeah, I guess for new people it's not that bad, but they threw a whole bunch in there. They didn't include Elena. Where do you go from here? Because you combined all games in one. It didn't make sense.
Right.
With that being said, this is the greatest game of all time. We're not gonna cut. Let's be real here. This is the greatest game ever made. This is the reason Sony won the PS3 generation with the Xbox 360. Because if you remember in the beginning, PS3 was the super expensive. They messed up the whole press conference to release it. You know, it had a lot of good graphics, but Xbox 360 had all the games. They had the Halo, Gears in their prime. They were killing them, kicking their ass. And then Uncharted 2 came out. And then it was banger after banger after banger, like they were from Ireland. This was incredible. Uncharted 2. That is the single greatest game of all time. I've played that game probably 100 times. I've got the platinum in every single game. It's that good. Uncharted 2 multiplayer was bare bones, but it worked. It was so well done. It didn't feel tacked on. It felt really good. I got so many hours in the multiplayer. This is the reason I play video games. This is what made me want to explore and try other games. This is the reason I like PlayStation. This is the reason Naughty Dog is my favorite game developer. Naughty Dog, this is Naughty Dog in their prime. You had Uncharted 1, 2, 3, and then The Last of Us all in the same generation. You can't. What do you do with that? That's literally a grand slam. That's a historic generational run. This is Jordan numbers. All right.
Yes.
This is the best game I've ever made. From Nolan North playing Nathan Drake, you got Emily Rose as Elena. I can't say enough great things about it. One, I played a lot. It still holds up. You have the remakes, you have the remasters. I'm gonna go my rankings. This is how great. That's how much I love the game. I'm gonna go 2. I'm gonna go 1, 4, 3. That's my rankings for the games. Really good stuff. And then Lost Legacy can find its way in. It's just hard to rank Lost Legacy because it's like a separate thing. They also had Uncharted Golden Abyss on the PS Vita.
Oh, yep, so, that's right.
This is Sony's franchise, and this was the beginning of this is the blueprint, because all the theatrical cinematic type games, they started with Uncharted. Now, let's get more games with better cutscenes, better voice acting. Let's do this. That's the staple for all the PlayStation games. This is the blueprint. Uncharted is the greatest thing ever made.
It is so good. This is almost like one of the reasons why you have so many categories at the Video Game Awards, is because there's so much into this, from scores to acting, like you said. Everything is so well done in this series that it's just such a shame that they ended it and didn't continue it in some way. Man, like you talk about the bare bones of Uncharted 2 Online, it was like GoldenEye for me. So coming up, being an old school gamer, it felt so good coming up to that. Now it's really complex when you get up to part 4. That I think it grew very well. You talk about replaying. I'm not throwing out my PS3 because I have the original discs on here, and I'm going to bring them back up because I've replayed every single one of these games at least 10 times. At least 10 times, every single one of these. I know someone played more than others.
It still holds up, man. And like you said, that's a good comparison to Uncharted 2. I felt like the Uncharted 3 multiplayer took a bit of a dip. They tried to do a little too much. It was in like that Call of Duty era where you know these different like perks and stuff. Uncharted 4 found a good middle ground, I thought. And I think it still holds up to this day.
100%. Oh, man. I love this series so much. Yeah. We're not moving it, obviously.
Yeah, it's staying there for now. This is the PS exclusive. So we're going to move on. But I can talk Uncharted all day. Let us know what you guys think.
Let us know. Yes.
I don't know how you move on. I don't know what game you pick after this.
Let's just go straight to the bottom. What's the other one going in the gutter? What's the other one that we're never playing again?
The other gutter one, it must be some bad thing with the All-Star name, but Destruction All-Stars. To pivot here, me and Eric have a video on this channel right now. Actually, when it first came out, it was another PS Plus exclusive. We already talked about Rocket League's PS Plus exclusivity being a boom. This one was terrible. This one's supposed to be a fully fledged game for PS5, $60. It came out, supposed to be like the new, improved, like kind of Twisted Metal type style game, and this was awful. It came and went just as quick as PlayStation All-Stars. It just no good. Like why would you have a game where there was no shooting involved? Like, you know how Twisted Metal, there was nothing. It was just driving and hitting, and it just felt like we didn't put a lot into it. The graphics look cool. It felt good with a controller, but that was just about it. It did not last.
Nope. Just like our conversation about it, I don't think it should last any longer. Never play again. See you later. Quit trying to be Nintendo.
But Zach, what's the other game that was exclusive that had the car mayhem?
You're tickling my sweet tooth, daddy. It's Twisted Metal, baby.
Yes, sir. Another video game turned TV show, but Twisted Metal back in the day, specifically Twisted Metal Black for me.
Yes.
Zach, where do you got this one?
Same Twisted Metal Black, kicking it off with the Rolling Stone song. Everything was so cool about this game when it first came out because I started playing PlayStation at a friend's house with a game called Loaded. It was all like twisted, kind of weird stuff with like killing clowns and stuff like that. As you know, the era of like corn and shit like that. Twisted Metal was very fun. It got better and it changed for the better when Black came out. And I think the franchise kind of has fallen off a bit because I think they rely on the name too much. And I do believe, didn't they switch companies at some point too?
They have. Because the people
Yeah.
that I think the guy who made God of War, the original God of War, was the guy who made this as well.
So I played the one on 3. I played it for a night and I didn't go back to it. This really does need a reboot. And I thought they were going to come out with something very cool when the series came out with Samoa Joe and Anthony Mackie and Nev Campbell. But season 2 is coming out, so maybe they'll do another game and try to do something very cool with it, especially with how smooth online things are now. I'd like to see something better from Twisted Metal. But man, the Twisted Metal on the PlayStation 1 and Twisted Metal Black were huge where I was living. All right, so let us know where you think Twisted Metal should go. For me, I would say put it in a B because the franchise is a very good franchise and it's a very well-known franchise. I still think there's some greatness that awaits in these new generations, especially the PlayStation 5. This could be a very big online game for PlayStation for the PS5. But while Knocks away, we'll put it right here in B for the silver trophy right there. So many games in it. I love the cutscenes in Twisted Metal Black too. Each character had their own little story in there. And Repent. Knock, where would you put Twisted Metal as a series?
Again, I love this game. I don't think it's held up as much as it could have. I think greatness still awaits.
Okay.
I really thought we would have got a remake when the show came out to capitalize on that, but nothing ever materialized.
Yeah, hopefully something does. I'd love to play this online with you guys. This would be a fun one. All right. Let's go with something nice and lighthearted. Astrobot. This new game is building a franchise. This game started on the PS5 as one that is already in your system.
Yep.
Fun little game to get used to the controller, and actually a pretty decent game. I played through it like 2 or 3 times. Nice time killer. Astrobot is a very fun upgrade from it and soon to be bigger franchise, but obviously too soon yet to be in one of these top tiers. Knock, what do you think about Astrobot?
I think, again, this is like, it started, I feel like, as a glorified tech demo for the PS5, showing all the different capabilities of control or stuff like that. But then somewhere along the lines, people found a soft spot for it. Now they, expanded more on it. I think they should continue to expand more on it because you got something here. I don't think it'll be a fully fledged mascot, but there's something there. I think personally, it's still greatness awaits because, true to the name, greatness still awaits because there's something here.
Yes. You hear that, sack boy? You sack of... Anyways, what do we got after Astrobot?
Let's go to another favorite of mine. Not a too big one. I just played it this year. Detroit Become Human. This is the same company, they've made Heavy Rain. They made Beyond Two Souls. Quantic Dream are the masters of this. I don't want to say point and click, but the type of storytelling game where, like the Walking Dead did it. We'll talk about Until Dawn a little later on. This game is incredible, Zach. I highly recommend it. The acting, the storytelling. You play as 3 different characters in this world with androids, pretty much. And that's all I will say because each character story will depend on your choices as well. They intertwine, but not in a way where it's repetitive. They intertwine where there was so much stuff that was happening. Like I really felt each character's story. Like it was everyone's story is really good. It's not just one character's story. I highly, highly recommend playing this game. It is so, so good.
All right.
I'm going A.
You went A.
It's that good, bro.
Okay.
It's really that good. I think this is the best version of if you play the Walking Dead games or any of the type of that type of storytelling game where it's like decision based. This is the best version of all of them.
Wow. Last time someone hyped up a decision based game like that was Heavy Rain, which you got to try all these different endings and all that stuff, man. I barely got through the one ending, but I'll take your word on this because you know your games.
It's really up there, man. And if I want to stick on that trend real quick with the Until Dawn, this is another one where I think it might go A as well. I think we're getting a movie very soon. And it's
Yes.
very crazy because I think you would enjoy this game. It's a horror type of. They play in like a lot of the 80s horror, like a little bit of campy, a little bit, but it's still really good storytelling. Like they go back and forth. It's a completely different tone from Detroit Become Human, but again, it's still really good decision making stuff, and you really have to be on it. So let me say this, for example. Say you there's 5 playable characters. I don't remember the exact number. My first playthrough, I think half of them survived. So
Okay.
it's unforgiving, but like it's really, really good, and it's lighthearted, but it's not. I just highly
Okay.
recommend.
All right. I like these recommendations. Where'd you put Until Dawn? A?
I'll go A as well for this one. I was delightfully surprised with how good it was.
Okay.
This is one where I felt like the love for it didn't happen initially. It happened later on. Like people went back to like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah, I've seen people hype up about it like a year after it came out.
Yeah. If you want to go to another classic real quick, let's talk about the Tomb Raiders. Again, originally were on PlayStation as exclusives. Now, obviously, they're everywhere. But I thought these were really good. These are my older brother's favorite games of all time, and he got me into it. My favorite games are third-person shooters, and this is what it was. So this was the definition of that third-person adventure before Uncharted. So Tomb Raider is definitely up there for me.
This is good. I really like this series. The remaster is actually really good too because I replayed the originals off the PS Store, and they're very tough to play.
Yeah,
and the remasters make it so smooth and easy.
Yeah, they're a little hard to hold up. But the remasters, they have a bunch of remasters, remakes. The reboot that came out, I think, in 2013, same year as The Last of Us. The first 2 of the reboots are really good. The third one, iffy, but they had some like budgeting issues or like trying to find the finances. So I don't blame them too much. But those first 2 games, Crystal Dynamics, amazing.
Yeah. For me personally, I'll put it in trophy gold trophy. Like if you played Revolution or the one that was before the remake, that one was very tough, tough to play because it sucked. It was very hard.
They had a lot of bad years.
Yeah. So it's like you have like these 3 big starters. You had a nice reboot for 2 games, but you had all these little in-betweens that just the franchise took some hits.
So I'm cool with like B or A for me, honestly.
Okay. She's so like legendary for PlayStation, but
that is true.
We'll put her in A because she's synonymous with PlayStation for so many years.
Yeah.
And someone who used to be synonymous with PlayStation, but seems to be a lot more places now. Snake. Solid Snake Metal Gear kicked off on the PlayStation 1 with 2 discs. And it was worth both of those discs being on there because it just showcased what the PlayStation could do and storytelling and how big games could be on the PlayStation. I love Metal Gear Solid 2. That's one of my favorite games of all time. 3, that. And then I played it on the PlayStation 3. I played 4.
Yeah, 4 was good.
And it just something, yeah, it was good, but it didn't have the greatness. And then I don't remember anyone really talking about 5 on the PlayStation 4.
5, so we can get into it real quick. 5 had a big issue. That's where, Hideo Kojima made the games. He was partnered with Konami. They had a huge falling out. So the majority of the topics around MGS5 is that fallout where he was done with them. He left the company in like really bad terms. Even the Game Awards are throwing shots at Konami for that. That's where he went to go to PlayStation, partner with them to do Death Stranding. And it looks like the way they had to do MGS5, he didn't like it happened during the production of that game where he was on bad terms and like it might not have got completed. So they had to like do something different. That's kind of stuff I heard about it. I didn't get to play it myself. But it had a lot of developmental issues.
Okay.
People still love it though. People still love that game.
All right. I love Metal Gear. I love playing Metal Gear 1 and 2. I can play those any day of the week. Where would you put the Metal Gear franchise?
I think it's another one where I know Lara Croft and Tomb Raider in the A class is very legendary. I think it has to go A as well because it's up there. The remake for Solid Snake Eater is coming out soon.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. So I think it's up there, man.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that, and Snake is still someone who can garner attention. If they put something on the Game Awards tomorrow with Snake Plissken, people are gonna gasp.
Going crazy, and it shows the popularity. Like Hideo Kojima is like a star now. He's like the most famous video game developer I've ever seen.
Yep. Carnage Rage, we forgot about Legacy of the Kane games. I do remember those. I just never played them. Where would you rank Legacy of Kane games, Carnage?
Yeah,
Maybe
let us
check out
know.
the board.
I
Let
don't
us
know
know.
either.
I do remember those games, though. One game I remember that's very fun to my heart, and I have a dear friend who passed. This is his favorite game of all time, and he passed before the sequels came out. So I always think of him when playing the sequels. But Kingdom Hearts, what a nice game! What a way to use IP in a franchise. I absolutely love these Kingdom Hearts games. I'm not a big Final Fantasy player. I'm not a big role playing player, but man, this game got me into different kinds of gameplay and I actually love this series too. So I haven't played 2 or 3 or the point O's or the point whatevers, but I played part 1. Actually did play part 2. But I'm a big fan of this series now.
I'll be honest, people might be surprised. I've never actually played any of these games.
Okay.
I know Eric. I would love Eric to be on here. I know he plays these, but all I know about these games are like, damn, we waited forever for 3. It's Kingdom Hearts 1,
Yes.
2, remade, remastered, 1.5, 2.5, 3, 3/4. But where is like, so I would love to get into these. I know they were free at some point. I know they were huge games, and like I said, the crossover is insane. You got pirates with freaking Goofy and all these different people.
Yes.
There's all these different memes now too. So I know it's a huge game. I never got into it, so I'm gonna take my vote out of it. Carnage, Missile Power Phantom. I don't know if you guys have played this one. Let us know your vote, or we'll have Zach place this one. But
okay,
I would definitely love to play it too.
I'll play it in B for silver just because I haven't played the full thing. But yeah, it's such a great way to use IP. Just if you can get into it, get into it. And Legacy of Kane, A tier is what Carnage is saying right there. So if you haven't played Legacy of Kane games, get on them from Carnage Rage right there. Mr. Allpower says B tier for Kingdom Hearts. Let's get into this one right here. Phantom X, thanks for joining. Persona.
Okay, so this is another one, a JRPG game. Highly, highly recommended, highly touted. I didn't get to play a lot of these. I think it really blew up with Persona 5, like Golden Royale, Strikers, all the different versions of them. People play 4 a lot. I've heard about 3 being really well done. I haven't put too much time in this. I know a little bit about it, but if anybody else has played it, let us know. I know it's one of the premier JRPG games. This is another one Eric, I think, has played a little more, so he might know more about it. But
Thanks.
For me, I think this has to be in the B from the little bit I've played. So again, if anyone else has some other stuff, let us know. But I think B for me.
All right. I haven't played any of these. I have watched people play them. It is very entertaining. This series right here ranks in the top 5, and I think it's number 4 of all-time selling series for PlayStation.
Yeah.
So one of these series that we talked about, this has even I think beaten that, but this is a huge series for PlayStation, and I think we'll put it in A. We'll put it in A just because.
All right,
Phantom X, thanks for joining.
Yeah, if you got more experience with it, I'll trust your word on it. This is a debate. This is us talking, figuring it out, saying what we love the most, So if you have more experience, I'll let you take it. I haven't played too much of this. I can't say that.
Yeah. So if you hate Whack and Dexter as much as I do, put it in the comments and let us know because it was lame. What we got next, Nick?
We're on the final 5.
Ooh.
The final 5 games. I still see and they're all heavy hitters.
Yes. One I haven't played.
Okay, so let's get into it real quick. Let's round out our JRPGs and let's get to Final Fantasy VII. Or Final Fantasy in general. Again, another one I started exclusive to PlayStation. Huge, massive games. Final Fantasy VII is one of the greatest games of all time. It is just the way you get into that world and it just sucks you in with the characters and everything. I really get transported playing this game. The remake, obviously really good. They broke it down into 3 parts. Still waiting for that 3rd one. But this is the highest quality. So when you have Persona in the A class, obviously different games. Some people have different opinions on the them changing the style instead of being being more like the Kingdom Hearts style with the fighting and stuff like that. Instead of what do you call it? I'm blanking out on the name. instead of like turn-based. You know, it's more
Yeah,
active.
Dragon Warrior.
Yeah, so I like it more this way, honestly. I think this is A. It could be an S, but I know it's not going to end up there, so I'm gonna go A just straight up.
All right, I'm gonna say A2. The amount of hours I've watched my friends play this on the PlayStation 1 is ridiculous. And this is before I could sit and be on my phone while someone else is playing a video game. I've seen so much of this franchise played online. I played a little bit of this. I'm not an RPG fan. I grew up with a friend who loved Final Fantasy on the NES. I thought it was one of those boring games I've ever seen someone play. Holy crap, did they reinvent this series to like a 10. I'm a big fan of this series. I don't play it that often though, but I can watch this series. That's how good I think this series is. So A is where I think it fits in.
Yeah, I mean, again, like it's kind of up to what, 16 now. 16. This is another one of the games where 16 and a half, 15, this and this. But to change your characters every single story, and have it still be a hit, I think 7 is the peak. And it's very hard to top 7, but this franchise is a staple for video gaming, period.
100%. One that they're hoping to be a franchise knock. I've only played a little bit of the PS4 one. It's Horizon. They're hoping to make this a big deal on the PS5, and what I'm hearing is PS6 too. Are you a big Horizon player?
I'm not a big player, but I do enjoy the games. Again, another game I'm looking forward to playing in VR. Guerrilla, the ones who made Killzone, they've been at the top of the industry for decades now when it comes to graphics, and they did not disappoint when it comes to Horizon. The graphics are insane. The way this game runs is just you think you'd be on a PC, but you're on PS5. They're so technically sound.
Hey! Don't say PC is better than a PS5. This is a PlayStation to us. 30 years, baby.
30 years, and Guerrilla's really proven themselves to be incredible. Now with Horizon, I always felt like it's a great game. It deserves the praise, and it's going to be one of Sony's best new franchises, one of their best franchises, and one of their highest grossing franchises. But I feel like it's always got overshadowed because it came out at the wrong time. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure when the first one came out, that's when Breath of the Wild came out. So there's here we go, open world, and it's just getting all the shine. And it's getting some of the leftovers, but still a good amount of shine because people still love this game. And when Forbidden West, the second one came out, I feel like that's when Elden Ring came out. So then it's just well, what are we doing? So it got the side took this. So I feel like just the timing of it, hurt it a little bit. But besides that, it's hard to knock it because it is a really quality series. And from one of my favorites, Guerrilla.
Okay. I think your reasoning is your reasoning that it always gets overshadowed is the reasoning that they're just saying, screw it, we're going to remaster this one and put out a Lego version.
Yeah. They're taking, I mean, this is getting a show too, I thought. The Lego remaster. I've never seen a game get a Lego remaster. That is insane.
Yeah.
So it's everywhere.
I'm with you. I think it's still greatness awaits, though. I think there's still something that needs to really grab people about this franchise.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, I can see it this way. Look at this. The Witcher franchise, for example. You had Witcher 1 and 2, which was, quality games, but it didn't blow up till the third one.
That's true.
And as much as I love Uncharted, it didn't blow up till the second one. So it might take a sequel here and there. That's why sometimes in these game series, you got to give them a chance. You can't just have the first one come out. You got to give them a chance to have some sequels for it. They might blow up.
That's true. It's a good point. We have 3 left. Can we get to the one I haven't played, and then we'll go to the last big 2?
We're closing out with some haymakers.
Whoo! Let's go to Bloodborne now. What's Bloodborne about?
So Bloodborne is incredible. If you guys, so we talked about JRPGs. We have a good variety here. We talk about the decision-making games, the action, the racing, all type of stuff. Bloodborne is one of the Souls games, which is very difficult but very rewarding once you spend. Zach, you spend 5 hours trying to beat a boss, but in that final split few minutes, it makes it all worth it, man. When you really take your time, learn the game. This is one of the games you need time for. You got to take your time, learn it, learn the bosses, grind, get your character up, and it actually does feel rewarding. So this entire Souls era, which has blown up in these last few years, you got Demon Souls, which kicked it off as a PS exclusive. Same people, they made the Dark Souls, which was more multi-plat. Then they went over to, you have Sekiro, which is not the same people, but Sekiro, you have Bloodborne, You have Elden Ring, all the same Souls type games. There's a bunch of them now. Bloodborne was like the Dark Souls, Demon Souls, but it was a little more quick, like as far as the combat. So it might make it maybe slightly easier to some people. I still think it's very difficult. We're still waiting for Bloodborne 2. Still waiting for like more from this game because it's so good, man. When this came out, it blew up. It hit the streets, and I think it has to go in A because of that. This is my personal favorite Souls game, but let's go to A, and I'm hoping we get the sequel.
All right. Let us know in the comments what you think of Bloodborne. Let me know if I should start playing it.
Yeah. If you got time, because it's a grind. I do not have the platinum in this one. This one is it was a very difficult platinum. Now you can play with a friend and they can help you out, but that's beside the point.
Okay. All right, Knock. There's 2 big ones. Tell me which one you want to do first.
Let's do the one that you haven't played. Well, you played some of it, but let's do Last of Us because we can talk about that. No, let's do God of War first. We got to get to this business because you've been pissing me off, man. You pissed
me off by giving me the one to play.
We're gonna end up on a good note, so let's go to God of War first. Zach, where does God of War rank, and why is Ragnarok the best one in the series?
All right, God of War 1 through 3 are fantastic. They're great games. This is a great series. I love it. It's just a smash and grab. There's little puzzles, nothing too complicated. It's not like Myst because you're big old Kratos. You're fighting gods. You don't need to be doing all this crap. You're just smash and grab and doing some fun stuff. It's so much fun playing 1 through 3. They kept getting bigger, and 3 is so it's such a great ending for Kratos' story. You're fighting big gods. You're running up the arms. And you're doing all this stuff. It's such a great evolution of the series. 3 was platinum trophies all around, and then.
It got better.
We're gonna remake the character into a TGIF sitcom where he's got a kid, and you almost needed a laugh track when the missus died. Like this is such.
That's not true at all.
Come on now, Belky was in here with the Olsen twins. If I remember correctly about the spinoff, I cannot. Beautiful games. I gotta give it. They are great games. They are very, very, very good games. They're just not my Kratos, but they're award-winning. They're well done. They're well voice acted. I just didn't like the transfer of the Valhalla and all this other stuff in here because now there's rumors that they're going to get transferred into something else. It might be Egyptian stuff. I don't know, but that's the whole thing. You can't just transfer it from gods to gods. I like the Kratos that I grew up with. I love 1 through 3. Those are my takes. I wasn't the biggest fan of this, just like the creator of Kratos. I wasn't the biggest fan of what they did to him afterwards. But a lot more people are fans of these next 2 than they were of these first 3, like Knock. So Knock, let me have it.
All right. So God of War 1 through 3, obviously, this started on the PS2, man. PS2 days.
Yes.
This was known for the graphics, obviously, some vulgar things they were doing in the series. The violence, the gore was incredible. Kratos was one-dimensional, though. The story was one-dimensional. It was good. It's if you want to just, turn your mind off and, watch a Fast and Furious movie. But if you're looking for Spielberg, for all these artists, if you're looking for Jordan Peele, you look for the Ragnarok series, the Norse mythology Kratos. You're getting content, you're getting the stories, the character development. Kratos is a full character now. He's a full person. He's not just angry guy. Now, don't get me wrong. His whole story with getting screwed over and his family, great stuff. God of War 2 is typically known as the best one. 3 was my favorite, and it's up there as original series. 3 was incredible. Taking out all of those, going through everybody, freaking Hercules, Poseidon, everybody, incredible. Nothing gave me that feeling of epicness like God of War did. Nothing compared. So when they said we're going to do God of War, we're going to go to Norse mythology, I'm still not fully sure how we got to Norse mythology, and I played both games.
Thank you.
But I don't care.
Thank you.
I don't care because it works. And his son is actually a good character. You don't know it. There's a twist with his son. I'm not going to spoil it, but the twist with his son.
I'm not going to continue playing it.
I'll tell you off screen. The twist with his son is incredible. And then you played through the first one.
You want to do it? It was the twist. He wound up being Ghostface at the end.
He wound up being somebody.
All right.
But Karen Page. If you watch, is her name Karen Page from Daredevil? The one with Foggy Nelson with Daredevil. She's the mother. Incredible. Listen, the whole voice acting. Shout out to Shad Gaspard as well. I'm pretty sure he's the one who modeled Kratos. That's what he said in the original series. But I gotta tell you, man, God of War 3 was like, for me, it was like top 10. God of War series made it top 10. This new series made it top 2, and it might not be 2 because it's that good. It's the story, bro. I got to fight freaking Thor, bro. Come on, the epicness has been there. Come on, like this is beautiful stuff, man. It's really beautiful stuff. You can take away for.
All right, let me just say this about the 2 remakes after 1, 2, and 3 of God of War. It reminds me of if you were watching these stupid little singing shows like The Voice and everything like that. They always do like this very slow version of an 80s song or a 90s song, and it just makes it so over dramatic and like whatever else. Like, are you really gonna make a Poison or a Warren song all slow and meaningful? And no, I want what I want. I want Poison. I want Warren. Give me God of War 1, 2, and 3. This next stuff is it's it is what it is. But it was won tons of awards. It sells so huge. It has made this franchise more revitalized and more inviting to a whole bunch of different people. So, look, I got to give this franchise credit for trying something different because it totally did reinvigorate the sales and the awareness of Kratos, as Kratos is not just pushed in marketing for God of War. Now, Kratos is like front and center marketing. Kratos is what Sackboy wanted to be, thanks to these last 2 God of Wars.
Sackboy had no chance of being Kratos. They're like, when I put myself as final boss, kind of because like Kratos was so good, and it's not as many boss fights as the original trilogy, but everything you do, I feel like matters. And when you get to those really serious fights, like it looks so good. I feel like I can't talk about how good these games are, man. And I think the replay value is better in these new games as opposed to the original trilogy. I didn't really want to replay them once I beat them. But
That's fair.
Like, whether you like the new or old, this series as a whole, it's going in S for me. We'll debate which one stays there, but this has to go into S.
It's staying in S. Damn, Skippy. And before we get to our final game, Carnage Rage, you're not a fan of Justice League kills? No one liked Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. They pulling the support on that game for online. It is done at the first of the year.
They lost a lot of money.
Lost tons of money. Yeah, thank you, Warner Brothers.
Shame,
start from scratch.
I hate that you brought it up. I don't want to go off track too much, but it really hurt me when I found out people that made Batman Arkham series were going to make that, and it made that game. We might have got a Superman game. We might have got something else. Could have got freaking Batman Beyond. I've been asking for that for so long. If you want to switch up the Batman games, but still keep it in that same realm, Batman Arkham Future with Batman Beyond. This is textbook.
Knock.
It's right there. You can stay in the Batman universe, but switch it up because Batman Beyond is not going to play like Batman. It's going to be completely different.
Exact. Knock. He's right here. Leave a comment if you work for any of these studios that are going to be doing anything with the Batverse. This man will save.
I don't get it. People like from that have been waiting for a Batman Beyond to get brought back since the show. Come on.
Oh, he was in that crappy Crisis of Infinite Earth trilogy, which is the worst 3 movies I've ever seen. Let's get into something that is one of the best things we've ever seen. We did a live watch along of the TV show. We're going to do it again when season 2 comes out. You got me the remaster of season 2, which I'm going to play after Christmas for sure. After Christmas.
Please, man, I'm begging you. I'm begging you because Zach is the only person I know that has. Please don't put that in the chat. Has not been spoiled on this game.
Yes.
So when you get your natural, you might have to record it. When you get your natural reaction to play this, I'm so excited to see your reaction to this game.
I'll have to let you know where I am every time I stop playing it, and then I'll live stream from then on.
And with that being said, Zach, don't look at the comments anymore, just in case.
Okay. All right. I'm done with the comments.
Done with the comments. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start? Because this is another game I might cry over. This one is incredible.
All right, I'll just start really quick, and then you can just take it away. The Last of Us game, it was so enthralling. It was in the big flux of zombie stuff with The Walking Dead and all this other stuff coming out. Dawn of the Dead remake right before that. This is how you create your own universe around it, and you don't make the dead the main thing. Because once you do Alien, and then you introduce aliens and more aliens, the characters aren't like the thing anymore. The characters are the thing, and that's what draws you into this. You've played through everything. Take it away.
All right, so Last of Us 1, Last of Us 2, Last of Us Left Behind. Listen, I think somebody was playing this game when they made A Quiet Place, but I don't know. There's a lot of similarities. I'm gonna tell you this though. When this came out in 2013, I'm kind of winding down with playing video games. It's the end of the PS3 age. They announced, Naughty Dog announces, we're gonna make Last of Us. We're gonna make a zombie game. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. They didn't really promote that much. If you remember, they dropped it for the Game Awards the year before, the trailer. They didn't promote it that much. It was kind of like we were waiting for like Uncharted 4 or some type of Uncharted announcement, and they dropped this. So I was like, okay, give it a shot. It's Naughty Dog. You give it a shot. 2013 hits. We know it's about to close the generation because the PS4 comes out the same year.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider comes out, incredible. Last of Us, and then GTA is supposed to come out later that year with the PS4 as well. So I'm like, all right, a little game to close out the series. This was by far the biggest shock I've ever had playing a game in a good way. Because I went in not knowing what to expect. Only seemed like, oh, it's gonna be a guy and a girl. I don't know if this is his daughter or who it is. It's gonna be some zombies. And they completely blew me away. I've never had my expectations surpassed to that level in any video game in my life. It quickly became like, I didn't think I was going to play my favorite game of all time when I played this. Then they had the multiplayer. And again, a bare bones multiplayer. It's like a craft system going on. They had a little mini game where like, however good you do in the game, you get supplies, you win supplies, and it helps your little village. If you can survive, people get sick, get med, you get food, stuff like that. Great stuff. And then 2 comes out. 2 is everything they learned from developing Uncharted series, everything they've learned in their entire careers, putting it together. I don't think there's a game better than 2. And Uncharted is let me specify this. Uncharted is my favorite games because I love the characters. I love the stories. That's what got me into video gaming, like really playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
The Last of Us is damn near perfect when you talk about storytelling, when you talk about going on an emotional roller coaster, when you talk about gameplay, the advances they made in the gameplay and the graphics, it's not even close. That's why, even though Uncharted is my personal favorite, for me, the S class is The Last of Us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You will be going in for an emotional roller coaster. If you thought the first one, because there's so many decisions in the first one, like how it ends, and it's like, so when you think about the second one, they don't like drop the ball, and you think about the first 2 characters, they have other characters that are in there that I thought are really well done, and I think the voice acting there is just so well done as well. Like the music. They set the tone a lot with everything, man. The enemies. I think one thing you could say about The Last of Us 1 might have been, it's not really boss fights in these type of games.
Mm-hmm.
Last of Us 2 is something else, bro. It's something else.
Oh. Let's do this then. It is that time to get to our S class, our S tier, our platinum trophy game of all franchises for the PlayStation.
For the
Let's leave The Last of Us in there, and then we'll let people comment. But we'll leave that one in there since it's such a fond place in your heart. And do you want to leave that in there, or do you want to leave that one in there and pick one more? That's what I'm kind of getting at. We can pick one of the other 3, or do you want to just pick one of the 4? Because I haven't fully played Last of Us.
Okay, series. So we can revisit this when Zach does play it. I want to see where he leaves it. Because for me, we'll both get a choice then. Last of Us is going to be my pick.
Okay, Last of Us is going to be your pick. I like that.
All that I've played, The Last of Us is my pick. From all of you played, what is your pick, Zach?
All right, from all of these franchises that I've played on Sony, I'm going to say Uncharted is my pick. Uncharted is just so much replayability. I love it. I can't be mad at God of War or Spider-Man franchises in Sony because they're great acquisitions and they're great exclusives. It's just, holy crap, man. Uncharted 4, even with the main writer leaving the project, for them to figure it out in a way that makes sense as fans, where we can tell it's a little different, but we're still satisfied. That's
I didn't
something
even touch on that. I didn't even touch on that. Yeah, Amy Hennig was, an incredible writer.
Very, yeah. God, these games are so big. There's no way anyone's ever going to touch these games with a movie or television because it's the people are just I don't think they get the subtlety to the bigness of them.
No. So let us know in the comments below. We'll see if we do another one of these with a different system. We have some other fans of systems, but for the PlayStation's 30th anniversary, we got you another tier list. Me and Zach, 30 games from all across their generations. If you have some games that we didn't mention, let us know where you'd rank them. If you got some games that need some other recognition, if you got some disagreements with where we put games, let us know in the comments below. We love doing these tier lists. We're open to any and all debates and opinions. Zach, any last words? Final words.
Just leave comments. Let us know, especially if any of these games on here that one of us didn't play, or if there's games we didn't talk about, like Legacy of Kain, obviously the Max Payne series, and SmackDown Know Your Role, and all these great games. Let us know your favorite. This is just a celebration of PlayStation's 30th anniversary. We both love the damn system. So let's comment. We'll chat all year round. We'll celebrate PlayStation with you.
Yes, sir. So from the West Coast Pop, this is our tier list. Final boss, main man, Zach. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in. We'll see you guys next time with an Eddie Murphy tier list. Peace out, y'all.
Yes. Hold on a second. I got it. Hold on. I got it. Oh,
you got it. Also,
I got it. Hold on.
God of War new series is better than the original. Everybody,
get the hell out of here. Wait, look at Kratos in that picture. He's hiding from his son. That's how much he hates it.
He's accomplished.
God.
He's sitting like how Thanos sat in the MCU. But everyone, thanks for jumping in, man. We'll see you guys next time. Zach, take us away.
PlayStation